book is called Giraffes Can't Dance. It's by Giles Andre Guy Parker Reese. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully bandy and his legs were rather thin. I already heard a word that is new to me, bandy. If we use clues in the text, we can figure out what it means. Let's reread it. His knees were awfully bandy and his legs were rather thin. I can see that the author is describing Gerald's body. It's long and thin. He's talking about his knees. It's basically another way of saying that his knees are knobby. They're kind of funny. We might even say that he is bow-legged here. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off the trees. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And this year, when that day arrived, poor Gerald, he felt so sad because when it came to dancing, he was really, really bad. All right, so let's stop here and think about, what do you think Gerald is going to do during the dance if he is bad at dancing? Do you think he's going to try it anyway? Or maybe just watch the other animals? The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango, which was elegant to behold. The chimps all did a cha-cha-cha with a very Latin feel, and the 8 baboons, they teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked towards the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. "Hey, look at clumsy Gerald," the animals all laughed. "Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool." "Oh, Gerald, don't be daft." There's another word I don't know. Daft. If I'm thinking about this and trying to figure out what that means, I could say it might mean silly or foolish, ridiculous. And another way of saying that in Australia, where this book was written. Oh, look at his face. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. "They're right," he thought. "I am useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot." All right, here's another word you might not know. The word was clot. What do you think he means when he says, "I feel like such a clot"? It means that Gerald feels really clumsy. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and alone. There are all his friends, and there's Gerald. How do you think you might help him? What would you say to make him feel better? Think about that for a minute. I might say, "Come on, Gerald, we'll dance together." And then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. "The moon can be so beautiful," he whispered with a sigh. "Excuse me," coughed a cricket. who'd seen Gerald earlier on. But sometimes when you're a little different, you just need a little different song. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything is making music if you want it to. Oh, look at Gerald. Why do you think his eyes are closed? See, you think he's really listening hard? What do you think he might do next? Make a prediction. Take a guess. What do you think Gerald's gonna do? I think he might dance. With that, the cricket smiled and he picked up his violin, and then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves had started shuffling, making circles in the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing around. Is he dancing? He threw his arms out sideways and he swung them everywhere. And then he did a backward somersault and he leapt up into the air. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. "I'm dancing! Yes, I'm dancing! I am dancing!" Gerald cried. What do you think? Why does he suddenly feel able to dance? Do you think maybe he believes in himself and the cricket helping him find the music? And then one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance, they arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him quite entranced. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald is the best dancer that we have ever seen." How do you think the animals changed at the beginning of the story? Were they cheering Gerald at the beginning, or were they making fun of him? "How is it you can dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how." But Gerald simply twizzled around and finished with a bow. And then he raised his head and he looked up at the moon and the stars above. "We can all dance," he said, "when we find the music that we love." What do you think it means by the music that we love? Maybe the music that's right for you can help you dance.